Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Teresa. This is Lost My Thread. Today I'm going to be talking about what I'm planning to sew this spring. I recently hit 5,000 subscribers on my channel, which is pretty mind-blowing, pretty exciting, and I want to say a huge thank you to all of you who have subscribed to my channel. Huge thank you as well to anyone who is watching my videos, liking them, sharing them. All of that really does help to get my channel to grow. I feel like with so many of you out there watching my channel, it's probably time to do another Q&A video. So I did a Q&A when I hit 1,000 subscribers, and 5,000 feels like a good milestone to go ahead and do that again. So I am going to be doing a 5K Q&A. I will be putting out a post in my community tab if you do want to ask me any questions on there. You can also leave them down in the comments of this video. I will be putting out an Instagram post as well if you want to ask questions on there. I'll include an anonymous option as well if you don't want your name to be shared, but that will be coming soon, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys want to know about me. I am somebody who loves the planning process of sewing almost as much as the actual sewing, so I really enjoy looking forward to what I want to make for the season. I will say this is not an exhaustive list. There will probably be other things that come in, but these are a few projects that I've got in mind that I'm really excited to tell you about. The first plan I'm going to tell you about is I want to make another version of the Zadie Jumpsuit by Paper Theory, which is what I'm wearing today. I really do love this jumpsuit. It is a very popular one in the sewing community, and I absolutely agree that it should be. It comes with some different options. So you can do short sleeve or long sleeve. You can do it cropped, or I actually lengthened this one down to be a full length. I feel like this is one that it works in so many different fabrics. It looks great on so many different body types. There is a bit of shaping, not loads, but there are some pleats at the front and the back that I feel like just take it in a nice way. The intended fit of this is meant to be very oversized though, and I actually wasn't really happy with the fit of the first version that I made. I ended up taking it in quite a bit at the side seams, and it's not perfect, but it's definitely good enough. This is my second version, and for this version I ended up sizing down 2 whole sizes. I didn't even do any full bust adjustment. I often have to do that because I've got a kind of 4 to 5 inch difference between my high and my full bust, and this is supposed to be drafted for a C bust cup, which is a 3-inch difference, but it fits me great. I'm really happy with it. I think because it's not like a proper set-in sleeve, it gives you a little bit more wiggle room there. But I really loved the shape that I got of this one. The neckline I actually adjusted as well, so I felt like the first one was a bit too gapey for me at the neckline, and what I ended up doing was borrowing the neckline from the Peppermint Wrap top. It's a free pattern from In the Folds that is in, I think it might be LB Textiles, I'll pop it up on the screen, but it's a free one from Peppermint magazine, and I really do love the wrap top and where it wraps on me, and so I just took the shape of that neckline and put it onto this version, and I am so happy with it. I really do love this jumpsuit. It is one of my favorite things that I've made. This jumpsuit has some really nice deep pockets as well in the side seam, like a slash pocket at the front, which is a really nice effect, but also obviously very useful. And I knew I wanted another version. 2 versions is not enough for me. I knew I wanted to have another one in my wardrobe, and I've got some fabric that I think will be so perfect. The fabric that I'm planning to use for this one might be familiar if you watched my London fabric swap video. I picked this up earlier in the year at a fabric swap. It is a gorgeous cotton double gauze fabric in this really incredible red. It's like a tomatoey red. I really do love this shade. And it has this really beautiful design with like a black sketches of flowers on top of it. It's got a really delicate look to the flowers, although it's quite a punchy red color, and I feel like the contrast between the two is really cool. I love a cotton double gauze fabric. I love the texture. I love the feel of it. I love that if it's a bit chilly and a breeze comes and hits you, it is going to block the breeze because you've got 2 layers of the cotton fabric there, but it's also super lightweight, so that way on a hot day you're not going to get too hot. I really have been loving cotton double gauze over the last couple of years, and I definitely wanted to make more in this kind of fabric. And my friend who had actually brought this to the fabric swap had made a Zadie jumpsuit in a cotton double gauze before, and I saw hers and absolutely loved it and thought, ooh, I think I need to make that for my next version. And it just felt like everything was absolutely perfect. When I spotted this at the fabric swap, I picked it up and thought, this is what I'm going to use for my next Zadie jumpsuit. My friend was standing next to me and said, oh, that's what I brought actually, and I was thinking of making a Zadie jumpsuit with it, but she decided against it because of the coloring for her. But I just felt like everything was falling into place too perfectly. I had to make the Zadie jumpsuit of my dreams in this gorgeous fabric. I have to say, I have not seen a cotton double gauze with this kind of print on it, and she told me she'd picked it up in Bali, which made it just even more special. And I thought it was really funny when I was browsing the internet for some other kind of fabric. I looked on a website called Catkin and Scraps. It's an online fabric shop in the UK, and I spotted the fabric on there. And like I said, I've never seen this kind of cotton double gauze before. I sent her a message saying, hey, guess what? If you want more of this fabric, or if I want more of this fabric, apparently it is available in the UK now, which was really funny. It was just a bit of a passing thing. I sent it to her. And then when I was looking at this fabric, I decided I wanted to lay it out and see if I could cut this pattern out earlier in the year. And I decided I wanted to go for the long sleeve because I've only made short sleeve of this. I wanted a long sleeve version and I wanted the full length. But this is actually quite a narrow fabric. It's like a 45-inch fabric, and I just did not have enough to cut out what I wanted. I hemmed and hawed about maybe I can do short sleeve, maybe I can make it a bit cropped, but I didn't want to compromise on my vision because I felt like I'd seen this fabric and I had this vision and it seemed so perfect. And so guess what I did, guys? I went ahead and I ordered some of this fabric from Catkin and Scraps. So I ordered 1 more meter so that I definitely have enough so that I can make the Zadie jumpsuit of my dreams. I think it's going to be so gorgeous. I think it's going to be so comfortable. I will say, yes, this probably could be seen as more of like an autumn make because of the color, because it's going to be longer sleeve and longer pants. But like I said, cotton double gauze is so great in all seasons, I feel like. It layers up well, but also it is really great when you're hot on a hot day, but I'll still get a bit of coverage. I think this one is going to be worn for me in the spring, the summer, and the fall easily, and I cannot wait to get it sewn up. The next one to tell you about is a dress that I want to make. I feel like spring is such a great time to start pulling out all the dresses. I really do enjoy wearing dresses. I enjoy sewing dresses, and I'm not going to let spring pass me by without making at least one dress. And one thing that I made last year that I really loved wearing and I found was one of the most worn things last summer was the Isla Wrap Dress by Jennifer Lauren Handmade. I was actually a pattern tester for this pattern. It's a really beautiful shape. I really love the shape of the neckline and the sleeve. It is a wrap in the back, this dress. So it wraps and crosses over on the back with a tie that goes around to the front. There's a little button at the top of the back just to keep it secure at the top. I really do love how this feels on. It is really comfortable. I love the wrap. Again, you get that adjustability with the waistline, which is definitely a bonus. Because the wrap is at the back and not at the front, it never blows open either. So I feel like it really just kind of does a lot of things. And I really did love the first version that I made. And I knew that I wanted to make another one for this spring and summer. And I saw this fabric at the recent Stitch Festival. So I went to the Stitch Festival in London earlier this year or last month, and I saw this fabric at the Fabric Godmother stall. So this is a really gorgeous viscose crepe fabric. So it's got that crepe texture to it. It is a gingham fabric with this floral print on top of it. It's such an unusual fabric. So it's this really beautiful green gingham. I love the flowers in the background. I've been thinking that I feel like I need to sew some gingham. I actually don't have any gingham in my wardrobe. It's not something that I've generally gravitated toward, but I've been thinking, oh, I'm just loving all the gingham things around. I need to just give it a go. And then when I saw this, I know I love a floral. It felt like a really nice kind of window into the gingham world. So it's kind of floral, kind of gingham, feels really perfect, I think. I love the green as well. I've been really getting into my green recently. I don't know what it is, why I've been neglecting green in my wardrobe, but I really do like this shade of green. I think it's going to be absolutely beautiful. I think it's going to be lovely and swooshy. There's a good weight to this fabric as well. I think it's going to work really well for this wrap dress. And I could very much see myself reaching for that one again and again in the spring and the summer. So this is definitely a very exciting one that I want to get sewn up. Oh, and I didn't mention Jennifer Lauren Handmade patterns generally come with different bust cup sizes, this one included. So it was really easy for me to get a really good shape, and I really do love the fit that I got. And the last plan I'm going to tell you about is really 2 plans in one because it is 2 separate garments that I want to wear together. I'm sure you guys are very aware co-ord sets, coordinated 2-piece sets are very much having a moment right now. They are out there all over the shops. They are out there all over the sewing community for sure. And I've been thinking it would be really nice to get a cool 2-piece set that I could wear together, but also that I could wear separately. And there were a couple of patterns that I felt like stood out that I've seen a lot of people making co-ord sets with. And I didn't actually realize until I started going through the hashtags that a lot of people have actually paired these 2 together in particular. And I think they're going to work really well. And I think it's going to be a really cool set. For the top, I want to make the Gilbert top by Helen's Closet, which has been on my mind for a while. This is a really beautiful top pattern. This is one, again, that comes with quite a few options. You can do short sleeve or like a long bell sleeve. You can do it cropped, you can do it with a tie front, or you can do it full length. A lot of people have done the crop version for cord sets with the tie, which is super cute, but just really not my style, and I know I wouldn't wear it if I made it like that. I had considered whether I wanted to do it cropped or whether I wanted to do it long. I've been tending to make things more cropped recently because I've been going more towards like high-waisted trousers, high-waisted skirts. But I felt like for this cord set, I liked the possibility of actually tucking the top into the trousers to give a bit of a faux jumpsuit look. And to make sure that I have enough to tuck in, I think I'm probably going to go for the long version. I am doing a muslin of this, so I can always kind of gauge if I think that I need to do that, but that is my intention for now. And I want to make the short sleeve because I want it to feel very springy and summery. This top is a really lovely, simple top. It's a relaxed fit top with a camp style neck collar, which basically means it's not like a full two-piece collar. It's a little bit simpler to put in, but I feel like has a bit more of a casual look, kind of like a Hawaiian shirt vibe. I really like the style of this. I've seen so many versions that I love. It's got a dart for fitting, but again, it is fairly relaxed fit. I feel like one way or another, I've been wanting to make this top for ages, so I want to have this top, and to have it as part of a two-piece set potentially just kind of makes it even more exciting and bumps it up on the priority list for me. For the trouser part, I wanted to make an elastic waist trouser, and there are honestly just probably hundreds out there that you could pick from, but there was one that really stood out to me because of a couple of the design elements with it, so I decided to go with the Pomona Pants by Anna Allen. Now I will say that when I was looking through the hashtag for these trousers, it seems that a lot of people are using these for cord sets, so it clearly isn't just me who thinks that it seems like a good option. What I like about this is it is a very high-waisted trouser. It's intended to be very high-waisted, which I think would work well for my shape and for tucking that top in to give that faux jumpsuit look. It also doesn't have a side seam, so it's one piece that wraps around the leg, which I think is a really nice shape. It feels really sleek. I think that would look good particularly with solid fabrics that would just have that nice neat line going down the side. It doesn't then mean you can have any side seam pockets, so there are patch pockets on this one, which is maybe a bit of a downside. I do like a side seam pocket, but hey, patch pockets are pockets. I'm happy to go with patch pockets and have those on there. And you do have the option of putting those at the front or at the back. This also has a really wide elastic at the top, which I like for the elastic waist. Again, I feel like that's going to balance well and look more like the faux jumpsuit look that I'm going for when I tuck the top in. The other thing that really stood out to me about these was the ratio of the waist to hip. I feel like there are a lot of trousers out there with elastic waist that because you're gathering in the top of the elastic so much at the waistband that it can look very bulky underneath that where it's gathering before it gets to the hip. And I didn't want to add necessarily too much fullness there around my tummy, upper hip area, and I felt like this one had a bit of a smoother transition between those two. When I looked at the finished garment measurements, it looks like when you are pulling down the trouser, the stretched out waist is actually the same as the hip. So it really is meant to literally just fit over your hip as you're putting it on. So there's not as much fabric gathered around the waist, which is for me a big bonus because I really didn't want too much of that kind of diaper butt look, which I have seen on some elastic waist trousers, and it really puts me off them. But I feel like this one will work better for my body shape at least. There are also a couple of leg shapes for this one. So there's a wide leg or there's more of a tapered leg. I think they both look really good and I think both work really well for a cord set. There's also an option for a shorts of this as well, which I think would be super cute. I really went back and forth about whether I wanted to do trousers. I definitely want to do the tapered if I'm doing the trousers or if I wanted to do the shorts. And I really think both would be great. And I'm quietly hoping I might have enough fabric to actually squeeze both out. But the trousers are the priority because I feel like they're just more wearable in the day-to-day and I could wear them to work. But obviously the great thing about making the cord set is I'll be able to wear whatever I make with the matching item or with something else entirely from my wardrobe. Now let me get to the fabric because I had this idea of what I wanted to make, but I was worried that depending on the fabric, it might end up looking a bit pajama-y, which I really wanted to avoid. And I found what I think is the perfect fabric. I absolutely love it. It is this gorgeous viscose linen fabric. This is a Lady McElroy fabric that I got from Minerva. As you can tell, I like a bright floral on a dark background, and this is so beautiful. This is actually a navy background, which I am a fan of. I really do like a navy. The flowers on there have just such gorgeous colors. They are so springy to me. I feel like this is going to be so perfect for either the top or the trousers, but definitely together for that faux jumpsuit look. To me, this is just such a gorgeous fabric. I am a big fan of viscose linen fabric. It has really nice drape and movement. It's got a little bit of weight to it, which I feel like works really well for trousers. I think it will press and hold its shape well because it is that linen element when I'm making the top. I just feel like it is absolutely perfect, and I am really excited to get this one made up ASAP. I do also already have my buttons picked out for this one. I picked these buttons up from Ethel and Joan at the Stitch Festival. I had such a hard time picking buttons of that style, guys. The colors of them are all so glorious, and each little card that you pull out is more beautiful than the last. All the buttons are super unique. I seriously was there for probably about 5 or 10 minutes just going through all the little cards of buttons to make sure I picked out my favorite, but I felt like this worked so well with this fabric. I got the buttons first, and I didn't match it necessarily to the fabric, but I feel like it was just meant to be. So they are these really beautiful floral buttons. As you can see, the color and the shape are so lovely, and I feel like they will be perfect on this jumpsuit. Well, really on the top. I'm calling it a jumpsuit. No, on the Gilbert top, which will look like a jumpsuit when I wear it with the trousers. I feel like they're a match made in heaven, and it just worked out so perfectly. Like I said, I am genuinely super excited about getting all of these things sewn up, but I wanted to do a little bit of work before I made this video. And so one thing I did is I printed out the Gilbert top and I printed out the Pomona pants, and I've made some adjustments on those pattern pieces to what I think I need to get them to fit me well. And I've actually cut out a test pair of Pomona shorts and a test Gilbert top. If those fit well, they will be right in my wardrobe getting worn. If they're not right, I can obviously make some adjustments before I cut into my proper fashion fabric here. But I do think when I make all of these up, I'm gonna love them. I'm gonna be confident with the fit before I cut into these fabrics. So I feel like I know going in that I'm gonna really like the end result. And that is just such a good feeling. As always, I would love to hear what you guys think about the patterns that I've picked, the fabrics that I'm pairing with them, how you think they'll go together. I'm clearly having a bit of a floral moment, which seems appropriate for the spring. If you have made these patterns, particularly if you've made the Gilbert top or the Pomona pants, I would love to hear your thoughts on what they were like to sew up, any adjustments that you needed to make as well. Like I said, I'm making some test garments, so I'm going to make sure I'm happy with the fit, but it's just so useful to hear people's experiences. If you did like my video today, please do make sure you give me a thumbs up down below. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel if you want to see more videos. Keep your eyes peeled on that community tab for the 5K Q&A questions, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!